Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Hello. I have something very important that I need to tell you. Something that you need to hear. For your ears only. Please listen to the whole of this message before you delete it. I promise it's not a scam or a prank or anything like that. No. Everything I have to say is very much grounded in reality, so it's within your own self-interest to listen. I'm not going to ask you for any personal information or confidential details, and I'm not interested in knowing your credit card numbers. I mean, hell, I pretty much know all of that stuff already. Shit, look, let me just start over. You don't know who I am, but I know who you are, and for the purposes of this message, that's all that matters. You see, I had to call you at a time when I knew you wouldn't pick up the phone, because the organization of which I represent monitors all of my incoming and outgoing phone conversations. However, for some reason they're not very interested in listening to voice messages. Those kind of just slip under the radar, or at the very least no one can be bothered to check them. I don't know why that might be, but it works out pretty well. Well enough for me to feel fairly confident about contacting you in this way. Worst case scenario, I'm discovered and they'll just give me a slap on the wrist, but I don't think it'll come to that. I mean, it's not as though I'm divulging federal secrets or classified information, betraying my country. Yeah, I'll leave that to the politicians. No, see, this is a strictly personal call. By now, the exact nature of my occupation will probably be known to you. You're a pretty smart person, even if you don't always realize it, so I'm fairly certain you've already figured out who I am. Well, so be it. I can't give you my name, for obvious reasons, but suffice it to say, I've been monitoring your online and cellular activity for a little over 7 years as part of a routine national security operation organized and sanctioned by the United States government. Specifically speaking, the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Don't worry, you're not in any trouble, at least not for the time being. Like I said, this is a personal call, so don't be getting the wrong idea. Your information is, and always has been, in safe hands. My safe hands, to be exact. And considering the, compromising nature of your internet search history, let's just say that's a very fortunate thing. How about some of those, anime girls, huh? At least they look like girls. You were on the Amber Alert for a little while. I don't know whether you were aware of that. Probably not. But there was a time when I thought we'd have to swat your home for searching a particular set of lewd imagery. Yeah, you probably know the stuff I'm talking about. Full disclosure. Incognito mode doesn't work on us, but it does work for everybody else, including your friends and your parents. Yeah, go figure. It's a simple browser, but quite impenetrable. And unless you have a complete, unfettered access, you'd never be able to hack it. Thankfully, I was able to persuade the investigations panel from putting you on some kind of list, so, you're welcome, I suppose. Got a little too close for comfort, but Fortunately for you, we're more preoccupied with monitoring the real sex criminals, not just perverts. So be sure to thank your lucky stars when you get a chance. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked again. The point is, when you spend over 7 years of your life poring over another person's Google searches, direct messages, and music recommendations as part of your 9 to 5 workday, it turns out you get to know them pretty well. Hardly surprising, huh? I suppose you could say I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller. That's, uh, that's a surveillance joke. Don't worry about it. So, what with the sheer amount of raw data I've had to process over all that time, I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that I probably know you about as well as you know yourself, if not better. And I don't mean that in any kind of threatening, ominous way, disregarding the not so subtle 1984 George Orwell overtones. Which, okay, fair enough. That's pretty damning. I'm I'm simply trying to illustrate the fact that by handling the amount and variety of online information that I have, all of it created by you through social media, phone contacts, and even Discord activity, I have a pretty decent appreciation of who you are as a human being. Actually, that's putting it lightly. The predictive chart I have can anticipate your actions and behaviors with a 96% rate of accuracy, even going so far as to anticipate your speech patterns. So when I say that I know almost all there is to know about you, you will know that I am telling the truth. And that includes everything: your strengths and your weaknesses, your personal disposition, as well as the majority of your life choices to date, good and bad. There is a paper trail equivalent for everything, especially in the virtual world. And those little bits of information that I don't have can pretty much be inferred by the information that does exist. Matter of fact, I'm looking at all of it right now as data on my computer screen. This is your life, kiddo. Every binary bit of it, or thereabouts. I mean, there's gotta be hundreds of gigabytes worth of messages and audio and images, all compiled over a very long time. Believe me, I know. I'm the one who put it together. I organized it. See, like, that's the permanency of internet technology. Once it's written, it's in the cloud forever. Nothing ever really gets lost. Which, of course, brings me to the reason why I am calling you today. Having analyzed all of this information under the pretext that you represent a possible concern to state security, I have discovered something rather startling. Something which I believe deserves your immediate attention, especially considering that you do not seem to be aware of it yourself at present. How can I put this? If you were to sit down and consider all of the data that I have monitored and processed, all of the information of which I have access to, you would see an unmistakable thread of commonality, a correlation of data that spans across every single platform that you have ever used for the majority of your adult life. And then you would realize something. All of your instigations and all of your responses, the vast majority of data leads to one unmistakable conclusion, proven axiomatically and beyond a shadow of a doubt. And that is that you are amazing. You really, really are. Have you any idea how rare it is to come across an individual such as yourself? You could not even begin to comprehend the probability of finding another match in any of our statistical databases. Or perhaps you could. Even now you keep surprising me. And if there's one thing I've learned, it's never to count you out. Not completely. For someone like you, in your demographic, to display the values that you do, and to go forward in all of your beliefs, suspending your anxieties and all the things that you have had to deal with, I think that's pretty amazing. I think you're amazing. Kid, you are so much stronger and so much tougher than you give yourself credit for. So much so, I can hardly even believe that you're real. I mean, we had to rebuild 3 algorithmic models because your data bucked the trend so goddamn hard. And it's funny, all those little random acts of kindness, all those little unseen messages that we think get lost forever. Well, I've seen all of yours, kid. And you are something else. And I know that I didn't ask to be your agent. There is no room for personal preference regarding the subjects that we get assigned to in this organization. But let me tell you this. I consider myself to be very lucky that the work which I am obligated to complete as part of my duty ensuring national security just so happens to involve safeguarding an individual who I respect and admire so goddamn much. It didn't always used to be that way. Truth be told, this has been a long time coming. I mean, right from the start, I feel as though I took a shine to you. Maybe that's hindsight bias, maybe not. This was over the first couple years when I was still learning the ropes. And I think the thing that made me start to like you was your sense of humor. All the memes that I got to look at every day. You know, your memes. The ones you made and the ones you shared and posted. I don't spend a lot of time online outside of work, so it was pretty fun seeing what the kids are into these days. I'd never have come across them otherwise. I, uh, I even have a few favorites now. There's, um, there's the one with a dog. Classic. And you've got the one with the virgin and the guy called Chad, and they got different captions around them saying different stuff. That's a funny one. And there's the one with the cheeky troll man who pours oil on himself, and because, as we all know, oil is less dense than water, he gets to fly around when it rains. Now, that one's more stupid than it is funny, but because it's stupid, then it becomes funny again, right? And that's like how irony works. But then, as time went on and I grew into my position, I got to see you grow up as well and get more and more smart and mature with every text message and phone call you made, cutting false friends out of your life, becoming a downright decent person, getting less and less cringe-worthy all the time. And I think it was around then that I really did begin to admire you. It's not like there was a single moment where it all clicked. It was all very gradual. But before I knew it, you had become something I could look forward to. Whatever else was happening in my life, I could be sure that you'd still be online, doing your thing, laughing it up, and I'd get a check in on you. See how you were handling yourself, making sure that you were doing okay. Monitoring your online activity didn't even feel like work anymore. It was more like checking up on a friend. And what with this year, with how shit everything's been, the the unprecedented adversity that's been thrown on to regular civilians all around the world, I'll admit, I was worried about you. I still am, to be honest. We're not out of the woods yet. But the difference is that now, kid, you inspire me. No, really, I mean, hear me out. I'm not down there on the ground like you are. I've got a pretty cushy position where I am with all of my job security and accumulated savings. Realistically, you're the one that's suffering right now, and I know that things haven't been easy for you. I'm not gonna try and use any fancy words. Everything just sucks. And you say that it sucks. And sometimes you have to make edgy jokes online just to vent some of your anxiety. Anonymous Discord servers, YouTube comments. I get it. I do. It's a coping mechanism. We've all got them. I just wish you could see the strength inside of you. That somehow, in spite of it all, you just keep getting back up. Defying all expectations. You won't always feel that, but sometimes in life we're so focused on the things we haven't got and the things we have to do that we forget what we've already accomplished and the things around us that we do have, because we build on the progress that we've already made. And I know that because you showed me, kid. You taught it to me. So now I'm here, paying back what I owe. And you might feel as though there are times when you are isolated and the whole world is out to get you, and that nothing is going your way because the world doesn't want you to be happy, and that it's your destiny to suffer or some other trash. Well, let me tell you something, that you are never alone. And I wouldn't be quite so worried if I were you. Because if there really were something that big bearing down on you, trying to thwart you at every turn, well, in order to mess around with you, they've got to go through me first. And from where I'm sitting, kid, with my fingers on these buttons, and you being one of my favorite people, I wouldn't let anyone lay their hands on you. Not the Russians, not the Chinese, not even the IRS. No one. No one messes with my kid. And I will never abandon you. Uh, I really didn't expect to go on for this long. Seems like I had more to say than I thought. This call will probably cost me a pretty penny, but that's fine. It's worth it. Really. These last couple of years, it has been an absolute privilege watching over you. So keep your chin up, kid, and don't give in. Because you've got someone looking out for you. Someone who cares about you a whole goddamn lot. Realistically speaking, the likelihood is that we will never meet in person. And that's all right, I suppose. It just means you keep doing your thing, and I'll keep doing my job. However, don't be surprised if you notice a bit of unexplained good luck along the way. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I'm not giving you diplomatic immunity or anything like that. You can't break the law, just like I can't break the rules. But I can bend them a little bit, every now and again, just nudging things to go your way. When you send a message when you're drunk that you really shouldn't have sent, I'll make sure it's not delivered. When you get paid at the end of the week and you're worried you won't be able to make the rent, I'll make sure there's a little bit extra in your account. And when you need help the most, and there's no one else that you can turn to, I'll be there, where I've always been, inside your phone, inside your computer, inside the CCTV. And everything will be all right. Take care of yourself, kid, 'cause I really am looking forward to seeing all the stuff that you're going to do. All the stuff that only you can make happen. You just keep on being you, and know that I am never far away. 'Cause I love you, kid. Good night. And good luck.